There was a huge trade in the WNBA recently. And for the first time in WNBA history, a number one overall draft pick will be traded and included with another former number one overall draft pick. First time in history this has happened in the WNBA. Now, as I told you in the past from some of my past videos, that I am your cheat code when it comes to women's sports, and especially when it comes to women's basketball, college or pro. Now, let me share that the trade that I'm about to speak to you about will not be able to take effect and become official until after February the 1st. Okay? So details of the draft will go as this. The Las Vegas Aces will trade guard Kelsey Plum to the Los Angeles Sparks, along with their 2026 first-round pick in next year's draft. The ninth pick is coming from Seattle to Los Angeles. The Las Vegas Aces will receive Jewel Lloyd from Seattle and the 13th pick from the first round in this year's draft. And that pick will be coming from LA. Part of the trade, the Seattle Storm will swap draft positions with Los Angeles, moving from the number 9 position to the number 2 overall draft pick position. Seattle will also get Las Vegas's first round draft pick in 2026. And they will also get 6'7" Lee Uru from Los Angeles. Okay, before I go into any details about this trade, let me give you a purpose or reason for this trade. Jewel Lloyd, who plays with Seattle, has filed a harassment and bullying complaint against her head coach in Seattle, Noelle Quinn, and assistant coaches in Seattle. Noelle has had some kind of bad-looking press conferences, admits to being gangster, as she says, I'm quoting her. Noelle Quinn says, I'm gangster, and I don't see that as a negative. She says she grew up on the tough streets of LA, as she put it. So going back to this actual situation in case, an internal investigation was held, and that internal investigation said they found no violation. But Jewel Lloyd stood her ground, and her basic words were either get rid of Noelle Quinn or get rid of me. And as we stand now from that complaint in November, Jewel Lloyd is now being traded to Las Vegas. Okay, so back to the trade. Las Vegas, the Aces, they won back-to-back WNBA championships in 2022 and 2023. In this past season, they lost in the early rounds of the playoffs without making it to the championship. Seattle, with Jewel Lloyd, have also won 2 championships. So it's a balance and a balance going on here. Kelsey Plum was drafted number 1 overall in 2017 by San Antonio. San Antonio then relocated the next season to Las Vegas to become the Las Vegas Aces. As I stated before, they won their championships 2022, 2023. Kelsey Plum was a part of that team. And other accolades for Kelsey Plum, besides being a 2-time WNBA champ, she is also a 3-time WNBA All-Star, and she's been named WNBA All-Star Game MVP in 2022. Jewel Lloyd was drafted number 1 overall in 2015 by Seattle. That's the only team she had played for previously before this trade. Jewel Lloyd won the Rookie of the Year in 2015. She is now a 6-time WNBA All-Star. She was named WNBA All-Star Game MVP in 2023. She scored a WNBA record in All-Star games with 31 points in 2023. And she is a two-time champion in 2018, 2020, and she was also a WNBA scoring champion in 2023. So a lot of accolades going from each one of the stars that are involved in this deal. Both of them still have years left in their bodies without any injury, to make sure that both teams they're going to will prosper from this trade. The trade seems pretty even on paper, but Las Vegas has Asia Wilson, woman MVP. They have Jackie Young, superstar. They have Chelsea Gray, point guard. And now when you add in a Jewel Lloyd to that team, you have to recognize it as it is. Asia Wilson demands double teams. Not one person can hold Asia Wilson. There is going to be constant double teams. If you have Chelsea Gray, who is a great assist player, her assists will pick up greatly this season. Once the double team happens with Asia and Chelsea got that ball, that's going to be either Jackie Young open, Jewel Lloyd open, and that's going to be a lot of high scoring going with that team. That's why I think Vegas wins the trade. I mean, I look at Kelsey Plum going to Los Angeles. Last year, Los Angeles drafted Cameron Brink with the number 2 overall pick, and they drafted Rickea Jackson with the number 4 overall pick. Now, Cameron Brink was injured 15 or 17 games in. She suffered a torn ACL. I don't know when she's scheduled to return, but if she comes back as she was, that's going to be a great team. Because Rickea Jackson did so well in her rookie season, earning WNBA All-Rookie Team honors. So either way it goes, both teams are going to benefit greatly from this trade. Seattle seems to me like they were in it for premium draft picks, seeing that they traded for the pick and then they swapped with the pick to get number 2 pick of this year's draft, as well as getting the next year's number 1 draft pick as well from Las Vegas. So I think they're looking more toward the future than the now. But I will say this here. Kelsey Plum was never a number 1 or a number 2 in Las Vegas. This will give her the opportunity to shine. She could be the showrunner of a great team with LA. So that's going to be interesting to watch as well, and see how Kelsey handles it as well. The Seattle part of it, like I stated before, with it being just for draft picks, I'm not going to put them up there a chance of winning this trade. But I will say this. They have Nneka Ogwumike. She's a free agent. If they lose her, then it's going to be, to me, that they're tanking the season. We do know, expected out of college this year, you have Paige Beckers coming out of UConn. You have Olivia Miles coming out of Notre Dame. That we do know. We also have Kiki Iriafen coming out as well. It's going to be a nice draft, but here's the trick to this. Both Paige Beckers and Olivia Miles have a year of eligibility left should they choose to do so. That means, let's just say, if a team like Seattle seems to be tanking, they can go, I'm not going to them. I'll just wait and go back to college, or something along those lines. So that's what makes this part interesting with those young ladies' options. So I'm going to wrap this part up. I got you in on that trade, gave you my insight of what I thought about the trade. I'm going to give you more information upcoming because I know Other WNBA teams cannot sit still and let this happen. They're going to have to try to improve as well. It doesn't matter if it's going to be former champions, last year's champion, New York Liberty. It doesn't matter if it's Minnesota with Nafisa Collier. It don't matter if it's Connecticut. Y'all can't sit still. This ought to be an interesting offseason in the next few weeks. So I'm going to close this out. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you'll give me some likes, some comments, and tell me what you think about this. All right, then. Bye-bye.